if there are any doctors or caregivers watching this, I mean, what would you want them to know?
That like patients that come to you and tell you about these symptoms, like the general numbness and like emotional numbing, like after stopping the drugs, like it's not still a psychiatric issue. Like something actually is going on, and it's gonna take a lot of people to figure out like what's happening. We're doing research and we're trying to figure out what's going on, but it's gonna take a lot of people and a lot of money to try to figure out like what's even happening. And then once we figure that out, we know the drug caused it, like the drug and it's stopping, but we don't know like the actual mechanism of like what's causing these symptoms to persist. And then once we figure that out, then we could focus on trying to figure out a treatment. So until that happens, and doctors start like trying to help us figure it out, it's going to take some time. About say a year of, or maybe like 8 months of living with PSSD, I looked up some like urologists that were like really well known, not even about PSSD, but just like well known. And there's one in New York that I reached out to, like their clinic, and I was like, "Hey, has this doctor ever heard of PSSD?" And they're like, "Yes, like he's heard of it before. He sees patients occasionally with these symptoms, and he'd be willing to meet with you." I was like, okay, great. Like, that's awesome. And so it was like $500, but I was like willing to like meet with the urologist. Maybe he had like some suggestions of like what I should do, beyond what I know, right? So I scheduled the appointment, met with him, and right away, like he was like, I remember he told me, what makes you so sure that you have this condition? He's like, you just seem
Mm,
like you're so confident that you have this condition. Like, what makes you so sure? And I was like, well, after I started Cymbalta and then stopped it, like I told him all the sexual side effects and everything and like the timeline. And he was like, like this sounds like you're having like high cholesterol. Like that's what's causing these symptoms. And I was like, I just
mm,
shook my head. I was like, it's like, no, this makes no sense. I've never heard of general numbness after stopping antidepressants and it being from like high cholesterol, like that
yeah.
makes no sense at all. And then he was like, well, it might also be like some type of like STI, like some sexually transmitted like disease. And I was like, there's like a sexually transmitted disease that causes genital numbness, I was like, I've never heard
Yeah.
of this before. And so like I went to my primary care and I told him I was like, I want a full sexual panel done. I like want my cholesterol tested, like I want all this stuff tested. All the results came back. My cholesterol's in the normal range and my sexual hormone. Oh, well, they did sexual hormones as well, but my like STIs. I have no STIs or anything like that. Like, it all came back negative, and my hormones are in
Mm,
a normal range. And so I never went back and talked with him because I was like, he's honestly not going to listen to me.
yeah.
And so I
Hmm.
was just like extremely frustrated. But then I started researching, looking at like research papers of like PSSD and like seeing what urologists have like heard of it before. And I didn't want to pay like an arm and a leg, to meet with the one again. And so it was like $100 that I met with a urologist from the Netherlands that like has seen patients before and like helped write the diagnostic paper for the condition. And so I reached out
Hmm.
to him. I met with him over telehealth, and I told him like my timeline of like the drugs I tried, like what I experienced, and like what I was still experiencing. And he was like, "This sounds exactly like PSSD." He's like, "I'm diagnosing with PSSD." Like he gave me a letter certifying like I met with Cael, like his hormones are in normal range. Like I sent him my panel of like hormones and everything. It's like his hormones are in a normal range. Like there's no other explanation for his symptoms and his timeline besides PSSD. And so I was like, finally somebody will listen, but it's like there's not much beyond that really that he could do. Like he suggested like some vitamins and different stuff I could try, and I tried them, but they didn't really do very much. Or like I met with another one and basically just kind of the same thing. He didn't really diagnose me with it. He just kind of said you might have it here in the States, but he didn't really know what to do besides just like prescribe me Viagra. Like you just didn't know what else to do. So a lot of these doctors just like, and us, we have no idea what's going on, and neither do they, to try to figure out how to help people.